Hello, today is June 4th, 2016. My last call said I expected a gap at the open, which we got. Thought there were a number of factors favoring the gap being a down, which it was. We had a target of 2098.60 that printed immediately. Later on it was retested as resistance and finally support. Note that usually when I get conflicting indicators, I'll get a gap outside of the day's range, but if part of the range is this far away, a lot of times we'll have a gap and a straight line move, which takes out the trend extreme, in this case a low, without any pullbacks along the way, and that's what happened Friday. There's a new target, most likely to print Monday, of 2095.67, and that's my call for Monday. I do have resistance here based on some other people's work. I think this is likely to hold, at least at the open. Let's look at some other things. Here was our sequential sell signal in the 65-minute chart. Usually if we take out the close or the low of number 8 of countdown, within 3 bars, it leads to a pretty good drop. Here we took it out in the first bar, so that's indicating further declines. The lower the number of the countdown bar, usually the worse the decline. Here the close of 13 was higher than the close of number 6. But there's a thing called TD critical qualifier, which means we have to go past this close by at least a tick. That never happened, so this close doesn't count. We have to go back to 6, and usually when the number is that low, it leads to a pretty big drop. This is a pattern which usually has an all-day rally. It has negative implications for the future if the early drop is this large, and if the afternoon close can't even take out this high. All that would be erased, negated, if we gapped up sharply on Monday. I think further gains here are going to be limited. Here's a trick I found on the internet. You set 100% of the 125 moving average, and you set that here. You set this 4.94% higher. That usually gives you an upside limit for the move. So according to this, we're close to a top. Here's a 15-minute chart. We had a long consolidation. We then broke out to a new high with a gap. That was rejected immediately. Since then, we've had a number of attempts to invalidate that rejection. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4 rally attempts, and gapping down early in the day and rallying all day is usually a strong pattern. So we've had 3 straight strong patterns, even though there's a rule that the same pattern isn't supposed to repeat more than 2 days in a row. This is the first time I've seen the same pattern occur 3 times in a row. Anyway, we have this rally attempt, can't take out that low. We've had 3 straight positive patterns, and we can't even close over the initial attempt. That's not a good sign. Would be invalidated if we gapped up sharply. We have a hole in the wall gap here, and that should fill at some point, but there's also a hole in the wall gap here. Typically this will fill at some point and take out the low at 2047.26. I think there's a good chance we're going there now. So the target for Monday is 2095.67. I have resistance at this point. Be on a guard for an early big drop, and if that happens and takes out this low, I don't think we're going to recover for the 4th time in a row. I'm not predicting a gap under this low, but if we gap down and take out the low promptly, I don't expect a recovery. I expect us to go into the 2040s and probably without much delay. And that's today's call.